And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with rock cod Rick Maxa. We're in the mighty 1090 studios with Gene Estabrook from ECBT. That's East County Bait and Tackle. We're going to be talking fishing here. Bass fishing, saltwater fishing, freshwater fishing. You got it covered at ECBT, and Gene is the man that knows it all. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
A few years ago, Shimano introduced the Tranx 500 reel, and it changed the way we cast for big fish. Now, by popular demand, Shimano has created two new sizes. Introducing the Tranx 300 and 400, available now at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx is the dream reel for throwing big baits and catching big fish. X-Ship and HEG technologies combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth, effortless retrieve. Plus, Shimano's new Core Protect water-resistant technology provides long-lasting durability in the harshest environment. The new Tranx 300 and 400 are available in 2 gear ratios and 2 different handle designs to cover all fresh and saltwater applications. See the new Tranx 300 and 400 at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx, it's not just a new reel, it's a way to fish. Check Shimano.com for all the details. One of the dream trips for most anglers is Alaska. There are so many lodges. How do you make a choice? It's easy. Choose the one most Let's Talk Hookup listeners return to time after time. Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, and the finest charter captains in Sitka. All for the ultimate value. One visit and you will understand why nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. Sitka is famous for some of the best runs of salmon in Alaska. And if giant Alaskan halibut is your target, the expert captains at Kingfisher Charters know the hot spots and can put you on a fish of a lifetime. Plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod are there too. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. It's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except tips. It is truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
We all need to get around, but we all need something different from our vehicles. Your San Diego County Ford dealers have you covered if you're looking for a new truck this month. Plus, it's SUV season, so they have great deals for everyone. Whether it's a new EcoSport that is nimble and fun around town, or the Ford Explorer that is capable of putting a boat in the water and has seating for 7, Ford has you covered. Ford trucks and SUVs aren't just powerful and legendary. They have the latest technology that helps you seamlessly connect your smartphone and ensure you're safe on the road. Features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist on trucks are truly a game changer at the ramp, helping you back up a trailer by simply turning a knob on the dash and doing the hard work for you. So check out all the great deals during SUV season and save some money on the right gear for you. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. You want to talk about a guy that knows a thing or two about tackle. This is going to be a good show today, dude.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Gene Estabrook, the man.
Yeah,
he knows. He knows his tackle, both fresh and saltwater. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, guys.
So, kind of give a rundown about your history in the tackle business. You've been around for a long time.
I have. about 15 years now. Actually started about 15 years now. Actually really started at Dana Landing about 17 years ago, and then I got tricked into volunteering for a couple of your kids' fishing trips, and
remember that.
That essentially parlayed into working at Dana Landing, and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, so Dana Landing, of course, associated with East County Bait and Tackle.
That's right, yes.
And, and you're a part owner in a great rod company, Phoenix Rods.
Phoenix Rods,
right?
yes, sir.
So, hey, he get involved in that.
Yeah, that's a long story, too, but, I was working for him, and essentially sweat equity, bought in and bought shares when they, were just a little teeny company, and I've been a part of them ever since, I guess about 10 years now.
Wow.
So cool.
Good for you, yeah. And you're managing now, overseeing everything at East County Bait and Tackle.
That's right, yes.
So tell us about East County Bait and Tackle. I mean, I know a lot of our listeners go to East County Bait and Tackle. It's the go-to place for fresh as well as saltwater stuff. Well, give us a lowdown about what you guys do out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty much a hybrid store. We definitely lean freshwater just because of where we're at, and that's the majority of our clientele. But, when fishing gets good in the salt, I mean, we have everything that you could possibly need, from poppers to flat falls, snipers. I mean, my guys were rigging all season this year, as you guys can, imagine. I mean, I had to have 2 guys on the line machine and just rigging pretty much all summer.
That's all. I mean, it's
saltwater stuff.
Yeah, saltwater stuff.
Yeah.
Saltwater stuff, not even freshwater stuff.
It's the only legitimate, right stop other than going all the way down to the coast and going to Dana Landing. I mean, if you're a guy that lives in,
Correct.
In the East County, it's, you're saving yourself, 20, 30 minutes, where you can get it done right at ECBT rather than going all the way down to Dana.
We have guys drive down to us from Fallbrook and Oceanside, like, regularly, and that's not a knock on anybody else's store. I'm just, for some reason, they come to us.
Even for some reason, for a good reason.
Yeah, for a good reason. I mean, knowledge. And the other thing, too, when you walk into ECBT, the stock you guys carry.
Crazy.
I mean, nobody carries that much inventory.
That's my whole gig, man, is to try to have everything that you can need and then stuff that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
I try to form relationships with bait makers that are small so that not every store can have their stuff.
What amazes me, too, is the wall of high-end outbaits that you guys
Very
have.
impressive.
Talk about that for a second. I mean, that wall's got to be worth a lot of money.
And that's such a culture that's unique to our region.
It really is. It really is. We're very fortunate, down in Southern California to have this fishery. And you're right. We have baits from $500 to $40 on that wall.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
One bait costs $500?
Handmade wooden bait. I mean, made one at a time, and they're hard to get, believe it or not.
Wait, people actually buy them?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I probably sell about 25 a year.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Gosh.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you throw it on? Steel? So you don't lose it?
Pretty much. At least 30 pound.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's giant, though.
It's big bait.
They're big baits, yeah.
Yeah.
Big glide baits.
Yeah. And
Rum and mains.
Do they work?
They do work.
Yeah.
They do work.
Big bait, big fish?
Yeah. I mean, there's some guys that are super dedicated. You just got to bring one rod. If you bring one rod and you throw it all day long, your odds go up significantly compared to somebody like me, where I get impatient after a few hours and I'll switch to another bait so I can get bit.
You don't bring a swim bait rod and Ned rig at the same time?
No, definitely not.
Ned rig. That's
talked about that.
Yeah, the Ned rig's amazing. That's Ron Lane's favorite bait right there. Ned rig. Thing works.
That thing. Wow, we just blazed through those things this year. I mean, I really couldn't keep the end cap full, and that's whether it was the jig heads or the baits, they just that Z-Man. That Z-Man lure just really, some guys figured out how to fish that, and it just really works.
That's the thing that I like about East County Bait and Tackles. Like, San Diego City lakes that we have down here, they're pressured. There are a lot of people that fish on very small lakes every single day, and having the new thing or the new thing that comes out, it is like the mega difference maker on getting fish. If you can keep presenting things that those things haven't seen day after day after day, like that's a huge measure of success. And those guys in there, like anytime the buzz like happens and you happen to hear about something, you walk in there like, hey, have you heard of this? Like, well, they haven't just heard of it. Like all the guys fish it, they've been fishing it, and there's like, oh yeah, here's the section where you find all that stuff. They are so on top of things trending, and that's like the biggest deal in Southern California is, being up on the latest thing, and those guys are the best at it.
Your guys actually live it, right? They live for freshwater bass fishing.
I think that's the unique thing about the shop is literally every guy that works there lives and breathes this deal. And if they didn't fish before they came to work, they fish after they came to work, and that's
right.
That's organic. I mean, that's just how it is.
Part of the deal.
That's right.
So what's the hot deal trending right now in freshwater bass fishing?
Well, things have slowed down a bit, but there was a tournament last week at San V, and it took 14 pounds to win it. So I mean, there's still fish being caught. They're just deep. They're, especially at San V, you got guys fishing 45 feet there, and they're catching them. But I mean, there was a topwater bite going on until like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, there was guys still catching them, up in the water column. But they've now with this storm front came through and everything, they pushed out, and I think those guys that were fishing that tournament were all fishing over 30 feet of water.
When you say that means you're fishing on the bottom in that deep of water. Is
Yes.
that a soft plastic thing, or those
Pretty much.
spoons? Like how does
There is some spoonfish. There is some spoonfish getting caught. As a matter of fact, I had to reorder all of my nickel spoons the other day. I walked back there and they were all gone, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's what's biting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. And you can kind of shop the shop that way. You can walk the aisles and you can see the pegs that are almost empty are the pegs that you should be looking at. Like, I mean, that's
funny.
Pretty much how it goes in that shop. There's a new Mega Bass plastic called the Dark Sleeper. It's just a little paddle tail bait that comes already weighted and with a hook in it, and it's weedless. The hook sits in between the top fin. And guys are using that both in freshwater and saltwater. That's become like a little quiet deal where, I mean, if you go in my shop right now, I have probably 15 empty pegs because their Mega Bass is out of them.
Wow. Good tip.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And then that Jig Para spoon, the 7-gram Jig Para spoon, both in fresh and saltwater. If in saltwater, I found a way of fishing it where I just kind of cast it out in the bays and just drag it and then pop it every once in a while, and I think it's crushed. It's a little teeny spoon.
There is so much cool stuff like that in that shop. That's my favorite. I really like going in there.
So it's a spoon.
I mean, it's like a miniature flat fall almost, but it's 7 grams, and it's the color patterns on them are perfect for us. Like, a mix between a silver side and a smelt, and
so it works both fresh. You can fish it one day in the lake, and you fish it in the bay the next day.
I caught trout on it at Santee Lakes last week with Kimberlyn, Gary Pelzer's wife, the owner's wife. We went fishing and that was one of the only things I got bit on.
Wow,
that's cool.
The same bait.
Wow, and what's it called?
The Jig Para. It's a Jig Para. It's a spoon made by Major Craft.
Major Craft, okay.
Major
and that's
Craft.
the kind, like you
exactly.
say, Ricky, that's
exactly.
the kind of stuff that nobody really has dialed in.
You ever heard of that thing?
Guys that are in the know like that, they have that stuff. So what's hot in the rod and reel world now?
Well, I think that Corrado K this year, as far as freshwater reels go, that Corrado K has really been the top seller. It's cyclical. These companies kind of they'll take turns, but this year I think they finally got it right. I think that Corrado K, they finally got it right. That is a really good reel for under $200.
Yeah,
and we at one point we were probably selling 20 a week.
Wow,
no
the Shimano
kidding.
Corrado K. What size is it? A 200 size?
It's a 200.
Yeah,
it's a 200 size.
So perfect size for both fresh and saltwater bass.
And it is saltwater approved, so it's a great crossover reel. For the guys that want to spend a little bit more, there is that saltwater Chronarch that came out. That's a really nice reel too. I own one of those. Yeah. But I am very impressed with that Corrado.
Yeah, good stuff.
How's the DC been received? That new Corrado DC.
It's been good. It's been good. I think a lot of guys had already bought the new Corrado when that DC, because that DC came out a couple months after the K release. And we've been selling the DC really well for in a reel that's above $200.
Sure, but a lot of people that were maybe looking for a reel like that bought the new K when it got released and then
But I think at that price point at $250, I think that DC will be a contender all the way through.
Cool.
Yeah, for a digitally controlled
It's a really nice
reel
reel
that's
for that money.
$250. Yeah.
Yeah, when they brought me the sample down there to the store, we walked out with like one of those plastic casting weights, and I was able to cast across the street to Burger King.
That's cool.
It's like, oh boy, this one's good.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of these.
Well, these will sell. Yeah, no doubt about it. So a guy walks into East County Bait and Tackle and says, Gene, I want a rod and reel that fishes both freshwater bass as well as I want to fish the bay. What are you going to sell him?
We would probably lean like a swim bait rod style rod, 7.5 minimum to 8 foot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some really good, there's some good price point rods actually that fall in that category by a couple different rod makers. I don't want to single anybody out, but
That's all right.
There's 13 Fishing makes a Defy rod that's like $79 for the swim bait version.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's a really good bay rod that you could also fish Carolina rigs, lighter swim baits in freshwater.
Yeah.
And the DX rods by Daiwa do the same thing. They're like $99, I think, kind of in that same price point. For a $100 rod, there's a lot of good crossover rods there.
Yeah. How important is to match the rod with what you're doing in your fishing?
Super important.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always kind of shunned away from when rod makers tell you that this rod is technique specific for a certain application. I think that that's a mistake, because I think that what you think is a rod for Carolina rig fishing, I might not think is a rod for Carolina rig fishing. And so you pigeonhole yourself, I think, as a rod manufacturer, and you say that this rod's for this, and then when you're showing it to a customer, you're saying, no, this is perfect for what you want to do right now. Right. The guy says, but it says spinnerbait.
Yeah, there's a picture of a crankbait on here. What do you mean this is the right thing for
Correct.
you?
And so that it makes it more difficult, I think, because, I always tell people, just pick the rod up, see how it feels to you. I guess I just leave it up to the customer. I try not to push them too hard, but I will definitely give them my opinion.
When you have X amount of dollars in your budget, you've got $500 to spend on the new outfit, would you say it's better to invest more money in the rod, more money in the reel? Should they be the same? Is that not a black or white answer, so there's no way to say?
In a perfect world, I'd like to split that. I mean, if you gave me that budget, I would like to split that, like a 200. I think once, a rod above $100 is a pretty good rod. There's not a lot of bad product out there. If you come in this store, I don't carry any bait casting reels that are under $70 just because I don't want you to buy something that's going to break on you a month from now. Mm-hmm. I won't carry anything that I feel is going to let my customers down. But there's some good reels out there for $100 right now. Revo X's are $100. They're a really good reel. That new Shimano reel that just came out, I can't think of the name of it right now, but there's a $100 price point reel from Shimano right now. We haven't been able to keep those in stock.
Oh, yeah.
The blue and black one.
Darn
it, I can't think of it. Somebody will correct me later. But
we'll look it up here.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah. So but I mean, that's the thing. That freshwater world almost seems more so important to spend money. In saltwater, obviously in fishing in general, the rod and the reel are both very important. I could say in saltwater fishing, you tend to lean on the reel a little bit more than you do the rod. Not that the rod's not just as important. And I would almost maybe think slightly to the opposite in freshwater, where the rod is so important. Feel and what the rod's doing, and
that's true.
Most of what you're doing is trying to feel through the rod.
Your connection,
And I think that's something that people put less thought into. Still got to make the cast and still got to be smooth and all those things. So I know they're both important. But
warranty's a big deal too.
Okay.
Warranty's a big deal, and I've seen this mistake happen over and over again with manufacturers that, at one point they offer a certain warranty, they alter the warranty. Maybe they were losing money. I understand. Mm-hmm. But if you make it difficult for that customer, if he has a failure and you make it difficult for him to exchange that rod, that guy's never coming back.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah.
And so that I really think ease of, G. Loomis figured it out a long time ago. Yeah. Give us $50, we'll send you a brand new rod to your house. Yeah. We'll make this as easy on you as possible. And so those rods break just like any rods.
Yeah, freshwater rods break.
But you never hear about it because everybody's so happy with the customer service.
They're skinny and they're small and they're made to be super, super, super tiny, lightweight. Yep. And yet we keep them all on the deck of the boat, and they get thrown in a rod locker, and they live a harsh life, but they're so teeny and so light. I mean, that's part of it. And you bring up a great point. I mean, those rods break, and you kind of know that going into it, but they're also made so that if and when that happens, it shouldn't be a hassle to get yourself another one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I have a great G. Loomis warranty success story that happened to me last week. I broke the tip of my fly rod at Katmai Lodge in the summer, and I finally got around to sending it to G. Loomis, ship it up there. Guy calls me, he says, yeah, we'll fix your rod. It's going to be, but it's out of warranty. It's 15 years old, right? The rod's 15.
Right.
I love this rod.
Yeah, right.
It's a 7-weight Stream Dancer. It's a great rod. It's going to cost you $40. I was like, oh, darn.
Yeah, 15 years of use on your favorite rod for $40.
For
a new one shows up.
rod.
Yeah, exactly.
And a new one shows up
That's
at your
pretty fair.
doorstep.
Yeah. So
That's rad.
Loomis has it down.
Yep, no doubt.
No doubt about it.
And I like their style too, because you basically have two options. If this rod broke, in your opinion, on a manufacturer's defect, something happened where this rod shouldn't have broke, you for sure can send it up to them. They'll look at it and be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. This thing should have broke. Here's a new one for free. Or you can be like, hey, man, I was a bonehead and smashed this thing in the tailgate of my truck. It is 100% my fault. Then it's, okay, no problem. Send us $70, and we'll send a new rod to your doorstep with a rod tube and a return label. You throw your broken one in here, slap the label on it, and it's back to us. I mean, they got it going on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. We haven't even scratched the surface of the wealth of knowledge that Gene has here. Brought to us here in the studio.
You're not kidding. Yeah, both fresh and saltwater, and talk about a great shop and all the crew and all the boys here. It's going to be a great show, and if you want to join us, we want to hear from you. A great day to get your tackle questions answered with Gene. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning, there's two avenues to do that. First is our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's a local number. Or reach us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are you get a chance to talk to a true guru in fishing tackle, you're also going to get a shot at winning an awesome prize. And thanks so much to Gene and the entire crew of East County Bait and Tackle. One lucky caller at the end of the show today is going to get a $100 gift card to East County Bait and Tackle. You're going on a full shopping spree, and what a cool thing with Christmas around the corner to have an extra $100 coming your way from ECBT. So again, a great prize and a great opportunity. If you want to get through, talk to Gene, win that $100 gift card. 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great info coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Happy holidays from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. This is Doug Kern. Nothing could be better for that saltwater angler on your list than a gift from Fisherman's Landing Tackle and Shimano. We have the best Shimano has to offer, including Talica, Trinidad A, Therese, Stella, Tranks, Terramar, Colt Sniper, Torium, Tiagra, Flatfall, and much more from Shimano. Bottom line, we have the most complete selection of Shimano saltwater tackle and the knowledge to help you pick out the perfect gift. Check out our huge selection at saltwatertackle.com or come by and see us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
This is Captain Mark Rayer for Genren Sport Fishing. Located on the Sea of Cortez, we will show you a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Genren boats are outfitted with all accurate reels from the smallest Valiant 300 to the beefy ATDs. Simrad electronics, Fraser gyro binoculars, and crews with a passion to fish is just part of what makes us number one. Also, Cabo Yachts Vaquera has a Seakeeper for your comfort. For 2 live webcams and up-to-date fish report, accommodation packages, check out TeamGenren.com. We pick up at Rancho Leonero and all East Cape locations. So let's go fishing.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
There's nothing more peaceful than fishing. Just me, my pole, and some bait. Oh, and my life jacket, of course. I like fish, but I don't want to end up at the bottom of the water with them. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
All right. Gene Estabrook from ECBT. He brought beer and gifts. He's like Santa Claus.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Are you kidding me? $100 shopping spree gift card at ECBT.
At what I would say is the most killer stocked tackle store and all around. I mean, this is a cool one.
Yeah.
And like you said, we've talked so much about the freshwater tackle. I mean, you guys have a full selection of saltwater gear, both rods, reels, all the hot stuff. I mean, live bait, one of the only places you can go around and have just killer live bait if you want to go do some live baiting on the lake, crawdads and shiners and the whole nine. I mean, it's a very, very full service shop.
I have a really good way to spend that $100 at ECBT if you win it. The reel that we were talking about that Shimano makes is $100 is the
SLX.
Yeah. What an amazing reel. They introduced it at ICAST in July. Saw you out there in
That's right.
beautiful, hot Orlando. And and what an amazing reel that is. For $100, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I don't think they've been able to keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
I've gotten a few off and on, but we've sold through them every time we've got them. They feel really nice.
Cast's amazing.
Yes.
Super lightweight, fits in your palm of your hand. Just
Absolutely.
A really, really nice reel for kind of all kinds of freshwater bass fishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's easy on the budget.
There you go.
$100.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure. So it's the SLX. That would be a good way to spend that $100 at
right.
ECBT for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it, buddy. They're getting jam-packed. Again, if you want to get your shot, talk to Gene, win that $100 gift card, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Mark, calling us from Santee this morning. Good morning, Mark. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I just want to say I'm from Santee. I'm from East County, and I've been in that tackle shop like numerous times, and the people there are amazing. His crew that he has working for him is just amazing, and that's all I have to say.
I agree with you on that one, buddy.
Thanks, Mark. That's great to hear. I'm glad that we were able to take care of you. If you ever need anything, these guys are happy to spend some extra time with you if there's anything we can ever help you with.
I always crack up, Mark, because I'm the same way. Every time I go in there, you're always shooting the breeze like, so you been fishing? And they always say the same thing. Not really. I mean, I fished yesterday, but that was just for a couple hours before work. And then the day before, I fished after work for a couple hours. But it wasn't until the day previous that I got a full day in. So, like, you mean you fished every day of this week? And you started that conversation by saying, not really. Like they're just crazed down there.
Yeah.
I really dig it.
And the other cool thing about the guys that work for you is they're going to give it up. They're going to tell you what's working because that's their job.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
want to sell you the baits that are working. So they'll go out there, use stuff. I mean, they may not give up 100% of the stuff, but they're going to give up 95% of what they're doing.
We want you to catch fish.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal, man, so that you can have fun, your kids can have fun, and that you come back and the entire industry benefits from that.
Yeah. Let's talk about taking kids fishing on the lakes.
Yes.
You have plenty of live bait.
I do.
To make people happy on the lake, right?
Make it easy.
Make
it easy on you.
Make it easy on the kids, right?
I do it.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Why not?
Yeah.
That's what they're biting?
That's right.
Go for it.
It's crazy, too, what that can do for when fishing maybe is not on fire, what could potentially be a frustrating or difficult day. It's amazing that you can have a bag full of bait and just and just catch on every bait you fire out there. And
Absolutely.
You could pull your hair out trying to get them to eat whatever rig they're not wanting to bite, or you can fire that out there with a split shot for a kid and you can catch one on every cast.
Right, and that's exactly it. The ease of the rig, the whole deal, it just makes it, and you want those kids to have a great experience. You want them to want to come with you and go fishing. You want them to come back again and again and again, and those are memories that you're making.
You buying shiners for the kids when you
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I absolutely go to the shop and I load up a bucket, and we go and it's a great time.
It's like fly line and a sardine.
You
can't deny the effectiveness. Period.
No,
you can't
exactly
deny
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it works. Now there are a lot of guys. A lot of really good bass fishermen that dedicated crawdad fishermen, and you have crawdads too, right?
We do.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I believe I have some right now. We got some the other day. Yeah, and that's a whole different deal, and that is those guys are really patient.
Yeah.
The way they fish them, stitching those crawdads back to you really slowly. There's a couple good rock piles at Otay that some guys like to sit on.
Yeah.
Down there.
And catch big ones.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Over 10.
Yeah. That's
cool.
the big bait.
Absolutely.
There's guys that just dedicate their whole existence on freshwater bass.
When you see 2 anchors on a guy's boat, you know what
they're
he's
fishing
doing.
crawdads. Yeah,
that's cool.
It. And your guys will help teach people if they want to catch a big one. You'll teach them how to do it.
No, that's absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
We keep throwing all these accolades out there, but I got to do another one. One of the things that I think is even better than going in and asking what the hot bait is just where to be. There's in San Diego. There's a lot of options of places to fish. There's a dozen great places to fish calico bass within a half hour or 45 minutes drive from East County Bait and Tackle. More than that. And those kids in there just seem to be up on everything. Well, Otay's got a pretty good bite right now. Or San Vicente's doing, better than the other ones right now. Or you should be going to El Cap right now. And then it's, and they're biting this. And, that's one of the things. If you just know you want to go fishing, go in there on if you know you're going to fish on Wednesday, going fishing over the weekend, go in there on a Wednesday afternoon, and they're going to point you in the direction of the best lake and then the best thing to use at the time. And staying up on that isn't an easy thing to do. It's just like knowing where the bluefin are at. Those guys stay up on the hot bite and where it's at and what you're doing. And there's a lot of options in San Diego, and to be up on all that is huge.
One of my guys went on an exploratory deal a couple weeks ago, and I can't say exactly where he went, but he went to a foothills of some mountains, found a stream, and caught wild trout.
Wow.
Caught 10.
In San Diego County.
In San Diego County, caught
That's
10.
That's rad.
Wow.
Caught 10. Showed me the pictures. And some of them were 6 inches, but, up to 2 pounds.
What?
Yep.
That's
wild
cool.
trout.
Wild trout, natural stream.
That's cool.
Bass.
That is cool. All right. Hey, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. You want to have this opportunity to talk to Gene, who just knows a lot about fresh and saltwater fishing. There's your chance.
You got it, man. Let's jump back in and talk to Paul. He's calling us from Bellflower this morning. What's up, Paul? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Yo, Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
Gene.
There he is.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Guys. Good morning. Yep, good morning. Gene, how did you get your start in this industry?
Well, I loved fishing as a kid. I used to fish with my grandpa a lot, down in Chula Vista, J Street, all that stuff. But I kind of had stopped fishing for a while and then got back into it in my late 20s. And I'm 48 now. I used to hang around Dana Landing a lot. And one day they needed somebody to run some rods for a kids trip for Let's Talk Hookup. And I did that. I volunteered for that trip with Barry Breitenberg back in the day. And then the following year I did 2 or 3 trips. And then the year after that I did all of the trips.
You were our backbone guy.
I would bring all the gear. And then I worked down at the airport back then. My grandparents ran a business down there, and they sold their business. And Stephen from Dana Landing heard about it, and he hired me on the spot. And I've basically been with these guys ever since.
Cool.
And it's a passion of mine, and it's been great, man. I've been able to provide a good secure life for my family, and I love fishing. I'll do it. All of my trips are planned by where I'm going to go fishing while we're on vacation. My wife already knows that.
And she's accepting of that.
That's right.
Okay, that's cool. What's your passion, fresh or saltwater fishing?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. if it's good, I don't really care. But
yeah.
I lean more saltwater, but like inshore stuff within one day.
Yeah.
But I love like going to Louisiana, like, catching redfish. I got to do that barramundi pond in Orlando for ICAST.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about
last
that.
year.
Tell
Did
us
you
about that.
What is that?
It's, I think it's called the Osceola Outfitters.
Okay.
And they have 2 or 3 like 3-acre ponds. And they're the only place in the United States that has live barramundi.
Barramundi, which is Australian.
It's basically
it's
a snook bass like hybrid.
Yeah.
And we got invited to go after ICAST with some of the guys, and we went down there, and we were breaking jerkbaits. Like
Come
they
on.
were no, I'm talking about like Lucky Crafts. We were breaking them.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
These
How cool
things
is that?
like you would jerk your jerkbait once or twice, and these things would hit, and they're already peeling, dragging, going down the bank on you. Like
wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
How big are they?
They just restocked. So this place has been around for a long time, but they had a die off about 5 years ago. It got the water. If the air gets below a certain temperature, they can die, and they did. And so they just now got these. The fish we were catching were 5 pounds to 7 pounds.
Sick.
But supposedly they'll be double the size next year. So I definitely want to go back for sure. Osceola Outfitters. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it.
That's cool.
Oh, I missed that one. Many years ago on Let's Talk Hookup, Nick Hershon, the famous Nick Fly Fisher, called the barramundi the baddest freshwater fish in existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely agree.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, that's something worth going to Orlando for.
For sure.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about we jump back into him and talk to Doug, calling us from Montebello this morning. Hi, Doug. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. What's the most common question you get from a customer, and what would be the most oddest question you receive from a customer?
Wow. Well, there's quite a few stories there. I got an email one time from a guy, and he said, this is how he started his question. He said, "Hey, one time I almost caught a salmon. Do you have fishing rods at your store that would make it so I would be able to catch one next time?" And
was it followed up by "I'm a prince" and I'm from Nigeria and I just
money.
I just need you to hang on to this check. I'm going to send it to you and then you deposit it. Was that in there somewhere too?
No, I think that the most common questions we get are how to set up certain rigs.
See that?
Like how to tie a drop shot rig, or do I need leader on my Colt Sniper? Those kind of questions, just technical stuff. And we will never, that's one thing you'll get at our store is we'll never belittle anybody, even if it's something that seems really obvious, like how to put a bobber on a line or something like that. Like I've seen at other stores, not necessarily tackle stores, but I've been in other stores where somebody asks a stupid question and a guy gets belittled because of it. We would never, ever do that. We were always there to help you.
So, okay, answer those two questions. How do you tie a drop shot rig?
Okay, so, the most common setup is basically you're going to tie a Palomar knot to your hook. I like to leave about 8 inches between the weight and the hook, but people will have different opinions on that, depending on what bait you're actually fishing. So
but just for somebody that doesn't know it at all, you're saying you're tying the Palomar, but when you tie that Palomar, instead of cutting your tag end off, you leave a really long tag end.
Correct.
You said like 6 or 8 inches long.
6 or 8 inches, and that Palomar knot, sets that hook off to the side. Sometimes you have to bring the line back through one more time if your hook point isn't articulated correctly, like you want it facing up, so that when they eat that bait, they tend to swim down and they hook themselves pretty much. As long as you just wind into them, they'll pretty much hook themselves. But you do want that hook facing up. You don't want it facing down.
All right, good tip. And if that is a very, very effective method to catch fish.
When nothing else is working, that'll work.
That they just, whatever reason, they just can't resist that little thing.
Absolutely.
Dangling in front of their face.
That's right.
Yeah, gotta love it. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, let's jump back in. Talk to Ron. He's calling us from Inglewood this morning. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. Good morning.
Yeah, I just wanted to say what's up. Hello, Gene and everybody, man. I just got back yesterday. I fished the Anglers Marine Customer Appreciation Tournament at Diamond Valley. It was a great turnout. It was a great event put on by Anglers Marine. And it was a pretty tough tournament. It was Diamond Valley has been tough lately. 15 pounds won it yesterday, and if everyone knows, Diamond Valley is notorious for larger stringers, 5-bass stringers. But this time of year, it's just been really tough for guys. I ended up in 7th. I had a little over 10 pounds.
Nice.
And
good job,
it was just great being out there. And I heard you guys just talking about the drop shot rig. That's one that really works out there. For people who are going out to Diamond Valley right now, if you're looking to catch fish or try to catch fish because it is a tough bite, all of my fish came on a Nico rigged Daiwa Senko.
Yep.
But no matter what you're fishing out there right now, make sure you're fishing extremely slow. I mean, it's definitely slow to get bit. If you're shaking and you don't want to overshake your worm or whatever your jig or whatever you're fishing right now, you do not want to overshake it right now because those fish don't want it that way. They want it practically dead stick. So good luck to everybody out there. I just want to say
good info, Rod.
Hey, did you get any money with your hot dog yesterday?
Yeah, I did. And that's a pretty cool deal. That's what I love about the Anglers Marine tournaments. You know, it's kind of like being, when you're out there fishing, you're hungry, but you want to continue to fish. Those Anglers Marine guys, they cook up a bunch of hot dogs, and they make laps around the lake, and they deliver hot dogs to you at your boat. But the good thing about it is they surprise you sometimes because they stuff $20 bills inside of the package of hot dogs, and I was lucky enough to win one of those $20 bills yesterday.
Awesome, man. Good deal.
Sweet.
That's rad. My great hot dogs, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, Rod, I got a question for you. What's a Nico rig?
A Nico rig is what we call it's a wacky rig. You can do it with a worm, with a Senko. You rig it with a O-ring, or you can actually rig it through the bait, and it's just rigged straight through the body of the bait, like through the egg sac of the bait.
Right in the center.
Then you insert a nail weight into the head of the bait. So it looks, and once it reaches the bottom, it looks like a small bait fish or a small prey crawling on the bottom, and it's rigged a wacky rig. And it's a snaggy rig, but it definitely gets fit. If anybody has any questions or would like any demonstrations on how to do it, feel free to get in touch with me, and I don't have a problem showing you guys how to rig it up.
Thanks, Rod.
Cool. Yeah, hey, Rod.
Good hearing from you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the call. Congratulations on your double win yesterday. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks a lot,
All right,
guys.
appreciate the call.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including more of your phone calls, more great information, and your chance to win that $100 gift card to ECBT. 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the mighty 1090.
I'm sick. Happy holidays from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. This is Doug Kern. Be sure to get that saltwater angler on your list what they really want. A gift from Fisherman's Landing Tackle and Pen. We have the best Pen has to offer, including International VISX, Fathom 2-Speed, Torque 2-Speed, Fathom Star Drag, and so much more. Bottom line, we have the most complete selection of Penn saltwater tackle and the knowledge to help you pick out the perfect gift. Check out our huge selection at saltwatertackle.com or come by and see us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
For over 5 decades, Lee Palm Sport Fishing has set the standard in long-range fishing that they pioneered long ago. The Red Rooster 3 sets a new standard of excellence. The Red Rooster 3 is one of the most modern, quiet, and fastest long-range vessels in the fleet. They have handpicked the finest crew to make your trip a memorable one. The Red Rooster 3 offers trips from 3 to 18 days and runs year-round to the best fishing spots on the planet. Ride the Red Rooster 3 once, and you'll be back again. Call the Red Rooster 3 at 619-224-3857 or see them on the web at redrooster3.com.
Time to talk about great gear from Shimano. You know, we've been talking a little bit about it this morning with Gene from ECVT, but that Corrado Ducey is like one of the great ones, one of the best in shows at the ICAST convention in July, and it's an amazing reel for an amazing price, right?
Yeah, for the price, what you're getting in that, there's always been DC enthusiasts, and they've revamped it a little bit on this newer version. And it's a $250 reel, which I know it might sound like a lot, but it's really not for what you're getting. I mean, the technology that's in that reel is amazing.
That's what blew us away. We were so excited when they heard there was a new DC coming out, and one only assumed, okay, it's going to be a $400 to $600 reel, and then when that thing got debuted at $250, it was like, you got to be kidding me. Right. And then when the quality was still all the way there that you would expect out of a reel at twice the price, it's a home run.
It's a digitally controlled reel. It monitors the spool speed 1,000 times every second. Imagine that.
It's crazy.
Digitally controlled. I mean, previous, like when they came out with the Trinidad DC, what was that, $800? Something like that?
$850.
Here's a reel that has the same technology.
It's improved technology.
Better technology for $250.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer.
The Shimano Corrado DC, it's available now. It's been hard to get.
That's right.
It's available now at tackle
East County
stores
Bait
like
Tackle.
East County Bait Tackle and your local Shimano dealer. Check it out.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero is very family-oriented. People have brought their children down, and now they're bringing their children. It's not unusual to have 3 generations of family at the hotel. Grandpa, Dad, and normally sons, sometimes daughters. The families come back year after year, and it's a safe place for the kids. It's small, it's intimate, right on the water, 2 miles of beachfront. The water's very shallow in front. There's no currents to speak of, no waves. We have childcare, $10 a day for a babysitter. Security is high at Rancho Leonero. It's really unnecessary, but it adds up comfort level. And we really do encourage the families. It's a great place for family reunions, family get-togethers, weddings. We do it all. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. There's nowhere that I could think of to have the same atmosphere and the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. We love families.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, let's find out what's biting out there, Rick.
You got to do. Today it's time for the Catch Report, which is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Not only do they offer the best processing for your trip, for your fish when it turns from the San Diego landings, now with Fish Pros The Market, you can purchase fresh fish, smoked and jerkied fish, and their famous tuna burgers right at their convenient Liberty Station location. Fish Pros have also become famous for their line of spices, rubs, salts, as well as their smoked cheese. Pick up some at their Liberty Station location or order online at fishermansprocessing.com. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. What a great call for holiday stuff coming up. You want cheese platter, smoked fish platter. You haven't gone fishing a little bit because it's been rainy and cold. Head on down to Fish Pros The Market and load up on some fresh fish. They've always got things dialed, and a really good call for your holiday party.
We had a party tray yesterday. We had some relatives in town. We took the harbor cruise on the boat and had one of those amazing party trays with the sushi and the gourmet shrimp and everything. Oh my God!
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, let's find out what's going on the water now. It's time to find out. Talk to the man, Brian Woolley from Dana War Sport Fishing's on the line. What's up, Woolley?
What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
Doing great. Good morning.
Good, man. Hey, a little bit of a shortened week this week, obviously with that rain and that weather we had midweek. But, the days we got the boats out, we had some pretty good fishing up here. 3/4 day trips still, been out deep. It's been pretty consistent the last couple of days. Really it's the only thing going on right now is that bottom fish. We did have a few bonito yesterday, but for the most part, it's all that rockfish. Some good scores on the reds and mixed rockfish yesterday for the guys on the Kaleni. They had some good hits on that whitefish too. For a little bit of mix in there with that rockfish, but the water was a little bit dirty, but it's starting to kind of settle out, and it's been surprisingly good considering how mixed up stuff got midweek. The half day fishing too, poking around on the inside, finding some stuff on some of the boilers and inside reefs like that, some good action on the bass, and she said some whitefish too, and even a few of those bigger trigger fish, eating some of that exotic baits. The guys bringing the shrimp and the clam and stuff. Really had some good success on some of that funky sheephead and trigger fish like that. Again, that halibut fishing too, that stuff's got some momentum. 23-pounder slid into second place this week, so we're starting to see some of that fish kind of make its way into the beach from the deeper water. So we're hoping to see some more of that. In fact, yesterday Todd Manser was out on the border with the Okuma guys doing some testing, and they were cod fishing out in 58 fathoms and had a 16-pound halibut jump on a live sardine out there in that deep water. So we're starting to see that stuff kind of come up over the edge and start to filter in and fill on the beach. So it's good to see. So kind of it for us from this last week. But again, if you guys want to hop on a trip, give us a call at the landing here. Area code 949-496-5794. Of course, you can check us out on the web. And this month, remember, we've got this killer promo with kids. One full fare adult on either the half or the 3/4 day. You'll bring up 2 kids fish with you. So get outside, have a good time while the weather's nice. And again, also the discount code. If you don't have kids, you want to come on up, save 25% on one of these local trips by booking online and using the code SAVE, SAVE. Enter that when you're booking, and that'll knock a few bucks off the ticket price for you.
You guys always do such a good job of taking care of your customers, and hugely so when it comes to taking care of kids. 2 kids with an adult fare. It's an awesome offer, Willie. You guys are the bomb.
Good deal. Perfect time of the year to get out and have a good time and take advantage of some of this good weather we have this week. So That's it for us.
Great call, buddy.
Supposed to be a beautiful week of weather for sure. Flat, calm, no wind really reported. So get out and go fishing at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing.
That's it. We'll take you.
All right.
Thanks, Willie. All right, well, we're still waiting to hear from our surf guru, Gundy Gunderson. In the meantime, that's going to wrap up our catch report, which, again, sponsored by Bill Barney's 2019 CCA calendar. We've got them. They're a fantastic calendar with, really good photography and everything. But as we all say, the best thing on that thing is the tide charts. I couldn't get along without, I've gotten so hooked on those great tide lines that Bill Varney uses. The calendar's available now. It has great pictures, tides, moons, moon phases, all the important dates and fishing trips, and a lot more. In addition, you have a chance to win very cool prizes each month. You help support the CCA when you purchase the 2019 calendar at local tackle stores, landings, Turner's Outdoorsman, online at surffishtackle.com, and I know they've got them at East County Bait and Tackle as well. It's a great calendar, and it's a great gift for Christmas too. Like that's a huge thing around our family. Like if I get that for all the dads and uncles and cousins and everybody that fishes. And the one year that calendar, when Bill Rucker stopped doing it before Bill Varney continued the legacy of it, and it didn't happen, and everybody's Christmas was like, well, where's my calendar? It's a big deal. So
like a Sierra Club calendar or something like that. I was like, oh, God, yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. The Maxa Family Christmas tree, there's a lot of those 2019 sport fishing calendars going around.
No doubt.
Lots of fun.
Sure.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing from Gundy here in just a few, but in the meantime, we're going to jump back into the phones, and we're going to start it off with Mike, who's calling us from Rosemead this morning. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, Pete, Rick, and Gene. Hey, I agree with you. That calendar, I consider it more like a mini encyclopedia. I mean, there's just so much information on each page. There's proverbs and just records, and every page is just, every month is just very informative. But my question to Gene is weather-related. Now, for instance, like the brown trout, the dedicated brown trout fishermen, they'll go fishing like when it's the roughest weather out there and choppy and cold and snowing, and they're very successful. Do you feel, or what's your opinion about the weather when it's going to get cold? There's a low-pressure system coming. Do the bass bite at that time? I know they're going to bite at any given time, but what's your opinion about that?
That's a great question.
No, it is it is a great question. Most guys would say they want to be on one side of the front or the other. However, since we kind of specialize in that big bait, technique specific style fisherman, I'll tell you that my guys, when it got really overcast a couple of days ago before the rain came, everybody got really excited to go fishing that afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What does that do to the lakes? We know that it kind of flushes the bays out, but
sure. Well, no, I think it's the fact that there's going to be some wind, and there's a couple of specific baits that work best when it's blowing. And the bass don't get to see the bait quite as well when it's blowing and you're moving it and it's overcast. A little bit of rain, not a ton of rain. We're not, you're not going out there in your slickers necessarily, but there are guys that do that too.
Sure. But enough to break up your profile. The profile of the line, the profile of the lure, the profile of you, like they just can't.
Absolutely.
Those things, they're the boss down there, and they know everything that's going on. But if you can take one of their elements and knock it down a little bit, it puts that advantage in your favor, kind of thing.
Sure, exactly. And I think also the fish know that some weather's coming, and they don't know how long the weather's going to be bad, and maybe they become slightly more aggressive on that front side of the front.
Okay.
Or
got to get their feet in before they're hunkered down for a couple days.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, good deal. Hope that answers your question. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. Hey, as promised, we're going to continue with our catch report. Talk to our surf guru, Gundy Gunderson's on the line right now. What's up, Gundy?
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
We're doing great, buddy. Want to know how that surf fishing's hanging in?
Yeah, it was a tough week of weather, but, I always got something to offer here.
I know buddy.
We got a good report, coming from up north. I say this a lot, surprising bounce back on those northern beaches, that I call it the northern section, Ventura, Oxnard, Santa Barbara. Less urban, not as much runoff, so you get, much quicker return of better conditions, clean water, that sort of deal. Wiley's reported yesterday the Uptown Derby took place, and the guys found excellent fishing. Most of them ended up below Point Magoo there. The group reported landing 5 species, opal-eye, sargo, yellowfin croaker, shiner perch, even they had a few calico bass in the mix. Targeted species also barred perch. The catch was made with shrimp and lugworms, and, these guys increasingly throwing those flash minnows, and a flash minnow won the Derby, a 2-pound, 7-ounce fish taken on a flash minnow. That's a really nice perch. Took top honors there. MS anchovy pattern, which is a very good pattern for those flash minnows. Lots of quality fish the guys reported. Next best fish went 2 pounds. They had a 1-pound 12-ounce, 1-pound 13, 1-pound 14. So what that tells me is that barred perch is on the go up there, and that's I think from here on out we're going to find real nice fishing up there. The water they said was clean. There wasn't much junk in it, and the tide was really good. Hook, line, sinker up there also reported Goleta, East Beach, Carpinteria. The guys are getting barred perch there. The other thing to watch for is the halibut bite. Yesterday, some guys got out in that Malibu area, and one of the kids there had 3 legal fish to 30 inches off the old chart house. He was fishing cut anchovy. Sometimes cut anchovy is good on the backside of a storm or whatever. But I would look for that halibut bite to increase, and I'd say we're in perch season, so not a bad report for the conditions we had this week.
Yeah, man. Well, you got to deal with what you have, right? And the cool thing is that if you have bad weather, you got to go a different route, right?
That's it. That's it. You find those beaches that aren't in the wind. You find the cleaner beaches, and things bounce right back. There was also, we're hearing more reports of perch down the line too, off Oceanside and things like that. So we're moving into that winter mode. But don't forget about those halibut, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah, they're moving in. Hey, thanks, Gundy, surf guru extraordinaire. Always full of great information. And we will talk to you next Sunday.
Love to do it. You guys have a good week,
Thanks,
and we'll
Gundy.
catch up with you next week.
Appreciate it, Gundy. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Another full hour of your phone calls. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Pete here to tell you about our friends Jim and Mary and their incredible crew at Poway Valley Collision. I hear it all the time. Hey, I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, and you were right. Mentioned you guys, and they gave us the VIP treatment. Fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them now, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And I'm not fooling. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, and Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. I had my car repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Quality is the name of the game at Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay. Free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, plus a great fleet. It's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute, Tomahawk, Prowler, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check SeaforthLanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay. You've heard all about it. You know the angler's catching fish habit, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot spot-bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have fishdope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new fishdope.com membership. Check it out today. Fishdope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader. The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
It's long range time at the Ridge and Lower Banks. Time to get your gear. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Big fish need big tackle, and that's why we recommend the Shimano Talica for tuna, Trinidad for wahoo, matched with a Therese rod. Choosing the right size Talica, Trinidad, and Therese is the trick, and that's where we come in, with more experience and expertise on long range fishing than anyone. Fisherman's Landing Tackle has the Shimano gear for your long range trip. Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, or on the web at saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hard-working crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering great half and full-day open party trips. Book online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
We all need to get around, but we all need something different from our vehicles. Your San Diego County Ford dealers have you covered if you're looking for a new truck this month. Plus, it's SUV season, so they have great deals for everyone. Whether it's a new EcoSport that is nimble and fun around town, or the Ford Explorer that is capable of putting a boat in the water and has seating for 7, Ford has you covered. Ford trucks and SUVs aren't just powerful and legendary. They have the latest technology that helps you seamlessly connect your smartphone and ensure you're safe on the road. Features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist on trucks are truly a game changer at the ramp, helping you back up a trailer by simply turning a knob on the dash and doing the hard work for you. So check out all the great deals during SUV season and save some money on the right gear for you. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
38 years ago, my parents started Fast Lane Sailing Center. They sold catamarans because they wanted to do what they loved and sell what they loved to do. They wanted to share their passion with others, share the stoke. I'm Hayden Lane, and over the last 3 decades, my parents have shared that passion with thousands of people. My brother, sister, and I among them. We grew up right there at the shop in Dana Landing Marina in Mission Bay, sailing on the bay, fishing off the docks, and later off the Hobie Mirage kayaks. We grew up surrounded by the water. Our shop was filled with tools that Hobie and other brands have made to enjoy on the water. And I use them all. I mean all of them. Wouldn't you? So when you come into the shop, you're not going to hear a salesperson trying to convince you to buy something. You're going to hear us bragging about how much fun we have on these toys and telling you to do the same. We test every product out there, and we only sell the best because we want to use the best. So check out our website at fastlanekayaking.com or get on down to the shop in Dana Landing and find your next adventure.